back, and I hope I can keep up. We're now back to the consent calendar, where we have item 1 and 4.
1 and 4.
And so warrants, I think, Member Dwin?
Yes.
Point of order, if I can just be clear, the vote that we approved
Was
was
on
not
for
just the
item-
amendment, it
on
was
for-
actual approval of item 3.
Right, correct.
That's correct.
Ouch.
Yes, the warrants. I have a question regarding PCM-G Inc. For, it seems, on the page 1 of 1, it seems to be for about total 31,000. Who is that vendor? And I see the object 4315. I know 43 has to do something with supplies, and that's a large dollar amount for supplies not to be capitalized. So, is there
Hang
a
on a second.
service or what
Where's
this
one?
company does?
I believe those are, Mr. Bonet, you can probably verify this for me, but I believe PCM is the computer, part of the computer so that were purchased by Ryan Choate, our IT director. Is that?
So the $27,000 for under an object 43, that's not being capitalized. It's being expense. And if these were technology, hardware or something of that nature, shouldn't they have been capitalized?
Oh. So maybe you can correct me on that.
Typically, they would not be capitalized because they're under $5,000
A piece?
a piece.
Okay, that's good. As long as I know, you might want to stay up there. So, and then the vendor right above that, Myers Restaurant Supply, I see on the warrants they're $22,039.80, but I see on the ratification contract list they're listed at $22,399.80. Is that a typo?
I think the ratification was a quote that we got. The actual invoice
Okay.
was the $22,039.
Okay.
And those were for the warmers
Right.
and
The
food service that we
rethermovals.
spoke about earlier,
Right.
a few meetings ago.
Okay. Okay, that's fine, thank you. I can move to the ratification contracts now.
I had some questions on the warrants as well.
Go ahead.
You already covered, I had the same question about the PCMG, so glad we covered that. The mono price on page 1 for 1,500, do you have any recollection as to what that's about?
Those are for iPad covers and iPhone covers that help protect the
iPads.
computers from dropping and scratching screens.
Important items?
Well, So, I see that was coded under 4415, which is items between, what, 500 and 5,000? Supposedly, 4,400, the 4,400 object. So I guess where I'm going is, how come the computers wasn't also coded at least a 44 instead of a 43? Now, since my colleague said something. Am I making sense? Because you said that the computers, the PCMG, they were between, the reason why they weren't capitalized, because they were under 5,000, which makes sense. So then my next question is, how come they were coded to a 43 instead of a 44? When the 44s are coding anything between 500 and 5,000.
I would have to actually pull that invoice to
Okay,
let
then.
you know.
Okay, you can get back.
And maybe I can go do that and have the answer when I give my financial status report to both the questions.
Okay, I'm not, I can wait. It doesn't have to be tonight for me. I can wait.
We can hold these warrants, correct? If that question,
Well, I can find the answer by my financial status
so maybe we
report.
can
sorry,
hold it to
John.
that if that's...
I'm
we can
sorry,
probably
but
hold
she
it
just
to-
kind of got me
Yeah.
going when you did that.
That's all right. The second item, you were going to report back to us on the $12.50 for the pizza purchase from the last time warrants.
Right, that's a la carte menu. Spoke to Ms. Dunn, and they serve that every day as a la carte snack.
We
Yeah.
buy from Round Table Pizza to...
Yes, we do.
And then we sell that and get revenue off of it,
That's correct.
actually. Okay, so we actually may have made money off of that investment.
Yes.
Some level. Okay, well, that's good to know.
It's a hot item at the high school.
Apparently. Low fat.
And it's low fat.
And it's whole grain, low fat, Round Table Pizza. Who knew?
Do we show the offsetting income item someplace?
So are there any other questions on the warrants? And perhaps we can just hold that over, would board members like to hold it over to the financial report section for approval?
I'm fine if everybody else.
Just approve it.
I'm just asking.
I'm okay approving it. You know, I did have one more question on the school services. Well, we have school innovations and achievement, 2,800 on page 2, and then school services of California, 700 on page 4. Are those monthly amounts? And like, what are we paying a year contractually to those two entities? And
The School Services of California
get
is
out of
for workshops. We went to one on the LCAP.
Yeah.
And then we're going to one, we just signed up for the governor's budget in January. Also, the School Innovation and Achievement is for attention to attendance. It's a kind of a software package that the schools use with regard to truancy notification and recording when schools contact parents and when we get notices out to parents with regard to truancy, and when appointments are set up with regard to that for our students.
all right, thanks.
Any additional questions, board members? Okay, so was that the completed item 4? Did you get your questions?
We're on 4 now?
We're on 4 now.
Yes. So I have a request for the next facilities based on this contract ratifications. For the next facilities committee meeting, if we could be shown all the vendors that are not related to construction. So any vendor that we are using or using funds out of Measure J, whether they be one-time or reoccurring vendors outside of construction, can we be shown that list?
Yeah, absolutely.
You mean from the beginning of Measure J through the present?
Well, I'm really
What's your-
starting. Well, actually, no. I'm talking about from now going forward.
Okay.
So provided a current list of
A
vendors,
current
not?
list,
Okay.
right.
Okay. Okay, any other questions about item 4? So if you could note that on item 2, I wasn't here, so I'm going to abstain from that vote. But if we could probably do it a little separately, if it's okay for you guys. Item 1, 4, and 5, is there a motion to approve those 3?
So move.
Any objections to that?
Objection.
Roll call, please, for items 1, 4, and 5.
President Dice,
Yes.
Member Dwin,
Yes.
Member Simon,
Yes.
Member Affelt,
Yes.
Member Ash.
Thank you. And then for item G2, minutes of the regular October 23rd meeting, can I get a motion for approval on those?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All right, any objections? I will abstain from that, so no objections and 1 abstention from me. And did you want to do we're done. Okay, so we'll now move on